Hello, everybody. This is Just in Case from American Newscape. Joining our friend and media personality Jerry Maldonado, back for another installment of Meatball Therapy. Hello, Jerry. Welcome back to American Newscape.
Hola, niño. How are you?
Okay, wouldn't that be little one? Yeah, I like that. All right, hola, niño. Okay.
It makes you feel better with age, man. We're getting up there. Got to make you feel better with that stuff. I forgot you're from the Southwest. You understand that?
Well, no, I heard from the National Weather Service today that El Nino we're not going to have it this year. And, in the course of my life, they've been right, I would say 50% of the time.
I was going to say 0.
Well, I was giving them the benefit.
You got to go outside and weather.
It's kind of like Punxsutawney Phil. If you want to buy into that stuff, you want to believe what the National Weather Service is saying in their long-term forecast, you can. But hey, Jerry, enough of that. Tonight, catastrophic loss. Jerry, what's happening with catastrophic loss?
Well, our internet, that's the problem.
Yes. Jerry's internet.
But this has nothing to do with any kind of family or in relation to somebody. Catastrophic loss is basically the loss of your own self. You and I talked on the pre-show about George Carlin, conspiracy theorist back in the 80s and 90s. He said, the government's taking control of your mind. And people laughed at him for that. Granted, now he can't answer for that. And, sadly, he's gone. But it brings up a great point. People ask me all the time, what's the easiest way to transform? And I tell them, and you know this as a techie yourself, you customize what you bring into your system, into your feed every single day, because AI and all these things that, that are out there, then that what you and I talked about, are just bombarding our belief system to believe in something else. I mean, the belief system is the biggest killer of humanity. And you know this throughout the wars and religion throughout centuries and centuries. It's one's belief systems that are make or break you in life.
Well, it will. And if you find yourself being a zealot of any sort, you might want to sit back and reconsider that.
Well, when you're dealing with the belief system, people take it lightly, but it's basically the silent killer of oneself because it affects everything about you. It affects your mood. It affects your finances. It affects everything about you. Look at COVID. I mean, everybody went ballistic over this. Granted, it was nothing to be reckoned with, indeed. But the media played it out and played it out. I mean, and here I am, working with 20,000 people every single week and not getting a sniffle. And the point being with this, they had people in such a panic. This is what I mean. Customizing your feed, as I spoke of earlier, that's just you clicking on only what you want to see. People wonder why they're always depressed. I'm like, what are you watching on your phone? What are you watching on the internet? Because the minute you click on something that interests you, good and or bad, you are now inundated with ads and similarities that are going to match that. Therefore, it's going to affect your what? Your belief system. It's going to cause you to live in fear or excitement like I do, because I'm always clicking on stuff only that I want to see. I'm like, go ahead, Google watch me, or this one watch me. Sending me more. This is what I'm talking about. It just installs a better belief system about life, and you're not inundated with fear on a constant level.
Well, I agree. And, there's that old adage about pollution of one's thoughts.
Good point.
And that's basically just letting the crap in. Let that crap in, let it roll around in your mind, and letting it affect everything else.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's why I call it the silent killer. It affects everything about you. What you're allowing in is what you're becoming. And you don't even realize it till it's too late. I'm a positive person, but you're watching, all these newscasts about murders, and you're going to start turning into this fearful person who's always looking over their shoulder. I'm not saying be ignorant about what's going on. I got the idea for tonight's show. I'm actually going on Facebook after I leave your segment here on the same topic, but in a different manner. I was watching a notable preacher, and he's out there in a commercial, donate to my cause because the world is in such a bad place. The world is not a bad place. It's your thought about the world that pertains to a bad place. I don't see. I did before we came on. I heard somebody screaming. I wanted to make sure it wasn't a zombie. This is what I'm talking about. It gets you crazy. You got to realize what you're allowing in is what you are going to become. So if you're on this kind of quest that I started, over a decade ago of transformation, I knew I had to change from the inside out. And the first thing you got to change is what you believe about life.
Well, that's right. That's right. And it's like it's that positivity in thought, and keep the pollution out of your mind and your memories and all that, and keep what we always like to say, moving forward. What are you doing for yourself today to move forward?
I know it sounds so mundane because people can't see it, but our belief system affects every part of us. I mean, I can't stress it enough. What you're watching every day is affecting your five senses: your see, hear, smell, taste, touch, five senses, about everything. Hence, it affects your mood. So if you're installing all these fear factors in your life every single day, or you're constantly getting angry about politics, or you're constantly getting involved with negativity online, people getting hurt, jumping off buildings, and war and famine. I mean, your life is going to become that on the inside.
Yeah.
Therefore, it's going to affect your outside world because you're going to be what? A magnet to more of that in your life. And people don't want to take responsibility. I get that. Yeah, they blame the outside world for their problems when it starts all within that you're attracting to you from the outside world.
Well, it's evolved a bit, but marketing has not evolved that much. I mean, if we all
Oh,
go
my
back
goodness.
to watching cartoons as small children, we were bombarded with toy commercials. So we would
And
go
guess
to
who
our,
you wanted?
yeah, exactly. And you know, how do they sell dresses? They put anorexic women in those dresses, and they doll them up, and they sell those purses that go with those dresses, and they bombard you with that if you're susceptible to it. And the way they do it on the
Oh, indeed.
internet these days is go watch a couple cute kitten or puppy videos, and pretty soon you'll see all these PETA ads start popping up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, if we're being watched, okay, fine. Then start watching good stuff and you'll start only receiving good stuff. Or if you got dreams for tangible things, start clicking on those tangible things. You'll get inundated with all that to spur growth and ideas. I mean, it's so easy to customize your life. I call it self regulation. When you can self regulate your thoughts independently from the outside world, you're literally creating your own reality. Hence your AI of yourself that you want to have, be, and do in life. And if people can grasp that powerful notion that everything starts within, they'll get really cautious about what they're allowing in their life. And it's sad because personal interaction literally has gone by the wayside. Somebody asked you, why can't I find the right person? I said, because you're online, meatball. You got to see that person in person to get a vibe, to get a feeling, to interact. And we've completely lost that. The guy who invented the selfie, I want to smack him because it taught people how to look for validation in themselves instead of looking in the mirror for that self validation.
Well, yeah, but pretty soon they were able to sell them filters so those selfies would look better.
Oh my God, yes, I know, indeed. And the AI is kicking in again. It's turning into something that you're not. And reality, indeed, you can conjure up all these different imaginary thoughts of ghosts and goblins or dreams and goals. We have this, how should we say, this choice in life. But people have to grasp the fact that true transformation is completely changing how you think of life, hence your beliefs about it. You'll stop the wars and famines in your own mind. They always say you want to change the world, change it one person at a time. The collective consciousness will change this planet in a heartbeat, but we all got to be on the same mode to create that. And the internet has it, but we're just clicking on the wrong things to start it.
Well, you're exactly right, Jerry. And, even if we find ourselves at what we perceive to be rock bottom, it's just a wonderful opportunity because that's what you want to build your foundation on, the rock bottom.
Oh, yes. I mean, I was thinking about it today. I came back from my mom's, and I drove past my old home, my old motel home that I lived for a decade. And I was like, wow. I said, yeah, I was the bottom feeder at that time. And you bring up a great point indeed. It wasn't until I realized what I created that I realized what I now can create. And being in that bottom feeder kind of mode, I wasn't a starfish, believe me. I was a lot worse off than that. But it was a great experience, and I take a lot of gratitude for that. Being at the bottom really humbles you, knowing that you started someplace and you built a completely new house to live in. And we've all been at that stage in life, and hopefully this show will give people an idea that indeed it all starts with your belief about yourself. Belief is something that is accepted, considered, or held to be true. When you start asking those important questions about your reality, it's nothing more than your conscious thinking, tangible level.
Well, I agree, Jerry. And make sure that you're number one on the list of influences on yourself.
Yes,
Take
all of
it.
us have given ourselves to everybody else.
Well,
And I think when people really sit back and say, "Wow, I'm tired of giving myself away. I want to give myself the new life that I want," because from that new self, that happy self, that confident self, can only attract more better things to you.
yeah, no matter what it is, whether it's a boss you respect, a spouse, your parents, still keep yourself number one on the list of influences on yourself.
It's not selfish. No, people might think it's selfish to focus on yourself. Selfish is not how you live, but telling others how to live. If anything's selfish in life, it's what the media and the search engine companies are doing to us. They're trying to force us to think like them. I get it. They have the means and the power, but it doesn't mean you got to listen.
Well,
You
and
know, you go ahead.
well, no, and they have one primary motivation: their financial benefit. They want to benefit off of
Exactly.
us.
Yeah. I mean, the more you click on it, the more you're going to get it. I'm not saying, we're some conspiracy theorists out there. This is just a fact of what's going on in life. And you have a choice to either go with the flow, create your own path. You got to ask yourself. There's a lot of people out there that are hurting in a lot of ways, but I mean, you go to the core, the power source, which is your collective consciousness, your thinking, your belief systems, and you realize that if you change that, you're going to change where you're going in life. It's really that simple.
Well, and you and I are influences of what was presented to us as
Ourselves.
being, well, that, and what was presented to
Okay.
us as being funny, which was Carlin and Pryor, and it was
Isn't that
funny.
amazing?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing how they were just being themselves, yet they got criticized for being themselves. But they kept being themselves, and guess what? They became very successful in their own lives. And that's the kind of, the war that's going to happen because the world's not used to a lot of people being themselves. I mean, God forbid we think for ourselves. That's why they're coming out with all this technology to try to us to not be ourselves with filters and selfies and friggin' implants and this stuff and that stuff. I mean, for hundreds of thousands of years since we've been on this planet, we've had the ability to take care of ourselves. We really don't need anybody else to do that. But thank you for the offer, though. I'm really good with myself. It's all good.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, but no thanks. All right, Jerry.
Yeah, exactly. Indeed.
Great episode. I believe. I'm not ashamed of it.
I hope not.
Okay.
We have too much fun, Meatball, to do this stuff.
We do.
We actually stayed serious tonight. We didn't digress like we always do.
Well, I
Off
did.
topic.
I did, but they expect that of
We
me.
tried.
Yeah. All right, everybody.
Yeah, it's all good.
This has been Just In Case and Jerry Maldonado bringing you Meatball Therapy. Thanks for joining us. Remember, additional information and links are provided in this video's read more. Today's the day to subscribe to this channel. Please learn more about Jerry Maldonado when time permits.